Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, a debate on raising the state's minimum wage. And we'll meet Chef Mark Tarbell, the new host of Check Please Arizona. Those stories next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. Former Valley Metro CEO Stephen Banta will receive a $180,000 settlement in exchange for dropping a lawsuit regarding unpaid wages. The agreement will not affect state and federal criminal investigations of Banta's spending of public funds. Banta resigned last November amid reports that he stayed in expensive hotels, routinely flew first class, and collected questionable reimbursements. Proposition 206 would raise Arizona's minimum wage to $10 an hour next year, with subsequent increases to $12 an hour by 2020. The measure would also create a right to 3 days of paid sick leave per year. Here now to speak in favor of the measure is Maricopa County Supervisor Steve Gallardo. Speaking in opposition, Glenn Hammer, President and CEO of the Arizona Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Good to have you both here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Looking forward to this one. All right, Steve, we'll start with you. Since you're on the pro side, you're the guys who want to see this done. Why should Arizona's minimum wage be increased?
Well, in 2006, I was the chair of the minimum wage campaign, and it was passed by the voters overwhelmingly. But we always had the understanding that in a few years we're going to have to come back and readdress it. It's been 10 years since the voters had an opportunity to increase the minimum wage, and now it's time. I think as you see many families right now struggling to make ends meet, they're working 2 jobs just to put food on the table. This modest increase to $10 come this January and going up to $12 by 2020, it's good. It's good for working families, it's good for our economy, it's good for Arizona, and it's time for us to address it.
Why should we not address this?
Well, the fact is the minimum wage does go up every year. That was part of the ballot initiative that passed about 10 years ago. We're now at $8.05. We have a considerably higher minimum wage than what exists on the federal level. The reason why we oppose this, Ted, is that this is going to cost jobs, and a lot of jobs for those at the entry-level portion of their career, number one. 2, this is going to hurt a lot of businesses, particularly small businesses in rural Arizona, that aren't going to be able to afford what starts at $10 but quickly goes to $12. That's a big increase. That's a 50% increase, and we just also are very concerned that this is going to put upward pricing pressure in a lot of different industries. We already know that some of these prices are going to go up 10%. The national economy is still fragile. We're concerned that this could put our economic growth at risk.
Fewer jobs, reduced hiring. How do you respond?
Same arguments that were made in 2006, exactly that we're going to eliminate jobs, we're going to increase the cost of services and goods. Never happened in 2006. I don't believe it's going to happen in 2016. What you're seeing nationally are states taking it upon themselves to increase their own minimum wage because of the failure for federal government to address it. The fact is, it is good for the economy. The fact is that we have nearly 200 small businesses that have signed up in support of the minimum wage. The vast majority of businesses out there already pay above the minimum wage. This is a small few bad apples, employers that refuse to want to give a decent wage to their employees.
That's really an unfair charge. I have to say that. I mean, first of all, there may be some employers that support it, and that's great. This is a free country. But the vast majority of chambers throughout the state, our chamber, Greater Phoenix Chamber, most of the chambers and groups like the Retail Association oppose this because of the dramatic increase here. Let's remember, the real minimum wage is $0 when you don't have a job. And to think that you can just go from $8.05 to $10 in certain parts of this state on January 1, 2017, and not have a negative effect on jobs in the state is crazy.
Did the increase in 2006 have a negative effect on jobs in the state?
Go to any restaurant in the state of Arizona or other places that have raised the minimum wage. What do you see there? You see a lot of automation. You have the R2-D2 experience right now going on. What this does is it removes entry-level positions. When's the last time you saw someone bussing tables as a specific occupation? I have great sympathy. I understand, the supervisor is a good person. We both share a desire to make sure that those people that are working hard are able to raise a family. There are better tools like the Earned Income Tax Credit to do that than putting the jobs, these very jobs that these individuals hold, at risk.
If 2006 we didn't see the kind of automation we see now, and automation equals fewer jobs to begin with, can you compare 2006 with now?
Well, first of all, technology has changed. It's changing how we do everything in life. The fact is that 68%, the latest poll, 68% of voters, likely voters, this coming general election, support increasing the minimum wage. We're talking about Republicans, Democrats, Independents, across the board, support the idea that families are able to fend for themselves. They're able to provide a decent meal for their families. They're able to provide the clothing that they need for their kids. So this is a good thing for Arizona. It's a good thing for working families. Like I said, nearly 200 small businesses have signed on to say this is good for Arizona. This is good public policy. And I believe come November, you're going to see the voters once again overwhelmingly say we want to increase the minimum wage in the state of Arizona.
The idea of putting more money in the hands of customers and thus allowing them to spend more on Arizona businesses, does that make sense? Does it not ring true? I mean, more money by way of raising the minimum wage would seem like it would go back to Arizona businesses.
Ted, that's just not how it works. If you're raising the wage to a point where a business can't make a profit, this isn't the government. This isn't the federal government where you could print money. If a business can't balance its books, what happens? What happens? It goes out of business. What happens to those jobs? They evaporate. And what are we seeing? Here's what we're seeing across the country, whether it's Washington, D.C., Seattle, or Chicago. These places that have these minimum wage increases, we're seeing a loss of jobs. We're not seeing job creation. We're seeing fewer opportunities, and that's bad.
Fewer opportunities, especially among those less education, the lower skilled jobs, these sorts of things. You raise the minimum wage, fewer jobs, fewer opportunities.
And again, the same arguments that were made in 2006 are being made today. It's not true. The fact is, when you allow families to be able to earn a decent wage for a decent hard work, they're able to provide for their families. They're able to go out and be able to afford the basic services that most families are able to get. These are not for the most part, yes, entry-level jobs. However, these are mom, dads that are working these jobs, 2-3 jobs per family that they're trying to make ends meet. So this is good public policy. Do I think we're going to eliminate jobs? No. Do I think it's going to help the economy? Yes. Is it going to help working families? Yes. This is good public policy.
To Glenn's point, though, that if you don't, if businesses can't afford it, they will go out of business.
No, we haven't seen that in other states as well. You're seeing states across the country increasing the minimum wage or taking it upon themselves, because the federal government fails to do it. They're taking it upon themselves to take care of the families within their state.
And they're destroying jobs. Look at what's happening in Seattle. Look at what's happening in Chicago. Look what's happening in Washington, D.C. Restaurant jobs in Washington, D.C. And it's a much more, I lived there for 10 years. That's a much more expensive market. That went up to about $10.50. They've seen a pretty significant reduction in restaurant jobs. About 50% of the minimum wage jobs are for people who are under the age of 25. I don't know how these individuals that don't have the skills where a business could justify the price for their labor are going to work. What are they going to do? We already have very high youth unemployment rates. This is common sense. I mean, the supervisor's correct. I don't think it's up by that much in the polls, but it's definitely up. But the economic carnage is going to be on the hands of those who are behind this, not on those who are explaining what's going to happen if this bad policy takes effect.
Again, we continue to see a number of small businesses sign up and support the minimum wage. We continue to welcome them. We continue to have them learn and understand what's in the proposition. I think the number of small businesses will continue to grow in terms of support. This is good public policy. We're allowing families to provide for themselves. Why should families have to struggle every pay period trying to provide for their families? They're working two jobs now. Let's increase the minimum wage. Let's allow them to take care of their families, and push the economy forward. It's worked in other states.
The idea that a full-time worker in this state earning the minimum wage is too close to the federal poverty level. Those who aren't working full-time are just, it's just not enough to increase the minimum wage every year by way of an inflation calculation. It's just, I mean, their bottom line, it's just not enough.
Ted, the bottom line is the real minimum wage for someone who doesn't have a job is zero. And when they can't even get into that entry rung, on the job ladder, where do they go? I mean, look, most of us started somewhere. I like saying it, it's true. I started as the assistant bun flipper at Burger King. I made a nickel or dime more than the minimum wage. I was probably grossly overpaid for what I brought to the table. I make more than that now. And I have, again, great sympathy for those families that are working hard, playing by the rules, and struggling. And it is our responsibility to figure out policies so that they can live with dignity. But pulling the rug out from under them in terms of employment opportunities in the first place is not the right way. And when you look at small businesses, take it to the bank. You're going to have small businesses, particularly in rural Arizona, that are going to go out. And some of these other states that Supervisor Gallardo talks about, they at least had the brains in terms of putting something together, excuse me for saying it that way, that took into account that different regions have different cost of living. That's not the case in this proposal. It's one size fits all, and it's bad news.
What we're asking voters to vote on is to allow these workers that are making $8.05 an hour, that are flipping burgers, we're asking them to be able to allow these workers to afford those same burgers that they are flipping. $8.05 an hour is not enough to raise a family, and that's what you see right now throughout the state of Arizona. This is a modest increase to $10 come January, and then over the next 4 years or 3 years, it's going to increase dramatically, or not dramatic, but small. But it's good.
I would agree with dramatically.
No,
I mean,
it's good.
President Obama for years just wanted to take it to 10-10. Then Bernie Sanders came along, and you see a very leftward drift on this issue among Democrats. So now 15 is the new 10. And we know also there will be a $15 proposal in Flagstaff. Where does this end? And I'll tell you what's going to happen. People are going to lose their jobs. Small businesses, particularly in rural Arizona, are going to be harmed. And for those people who lost their jobs, here's the icing on the cake for them. They're going to get to pay maybe 10% or more for certain products like food because of this policy. We think there are better ways to address the issue, and that's going to be our campaign.
The idea, critics are saying that this whole thing is an election year gimmick. It's a get out the vote gimmick for the Democrats and for the left. How do you respond to that?
This is the presidential year. You don't need any gimmicks. Everyone's coming out to vote. You're going to see skyrocket voter participation. You don't need any gimmicks. The fact is that you have families that are struggling every day. And the fact is that $8.05 is not enough to support a family. We need to be able to allow families to be able to earn a decent wage. We need to allow families to be able to provide for themselves. And this, like I said, a modest increase. Small businesses are jumping on board, supporting it. Polls show it left and right. Support increase in minimum wage.
You respond to that?
I'll respond to that. He's right that the polls have it up, but we're going to do everything we can to change that. This is bad economic policy. There's no way you can just, we don't live in fantasy land here, Ted. You can't just take a minimum wage and say we're gonna jack it up and not expect that there are going to be consequences. We know that there will be consequences. There are consequences in other places, and it is accurate. There have been a spate of localities and states that have been raising their minimum wage, and what's coming back is very negative in terms of job creation, as well as small business survival.
In 2006, we had this similar debate, and the similar arguments were made that we were going to kill jobs, we were going to increase price of services. Never happened. Didn't happen in 2006.
Okay. All right.
Won't happen in 2016.
All right, I know what I got to do. I got to stop this debate right now because we're running out of time. Good stuff, good information. Good to have you both here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Award-winning Arizona chef and restaurateur Mark Tarbell is the new host of Check Please Arizona. Tarbell will begin hosting the Arizona PBS program at the start of next year. He's appeared on the Food Network's Iron Chef America and owns Tarbell's Restaurant along with the Tavern and the Wine Store in Phoenix. We welcome Mark Tarbell to Arizona Horizon. Good to have you here.
Great to be here.
Congratulations on the gig.
I'm very excited.
Why'd you decide to take this job?
Well, it was offered to me.
That helps.
No, it was a show that my restaurant was lucky enough to be featured on, and I watched the show and I was really impressed with it. I have friends actually around the country that host Check Please, like the Leslie Zabracco in the Bay Area, and so I've heard great things about being on it. I've heard great things about the show, and I like the show myself.
As far as from what you've seen, what do you plan on bringing to the show?
Well, I am just going to be me. What I plan to bring to the show is just to facilitate it, to make the host look good, to make the restaurants look good, and especially when questions of food or service come up, I can illuminate it, I can tell a backstory, I can ask different questions, just to bring some information out that I think will be helpful to the viewer.
Yeah, I think that when viewers see chefs in situations like this, they kind of want to get an idea of, someone says, I just love the beet salad, and you're looking at the beet salad and go, you could add something to that. I mean, I want to hear stuff like that. That'd be kind of nice.
We won't make it too spicy, but we'll try to spice it up a little bit.
Explain, for those who haven't seen the program, explain how it works.
Well, what happens is viewers, anyone can submit restaurants and themselves to be on the show. I, as a host, don't have anything to do with this part. I've been told that I can't comment or offer any help on this. And so all these viewers submit their restaurants and themselves, and it goes through apparently a very arduous process. And then we get 3 on a show. We talk about 3 restaurants and go through all the details. All the diners get to do it, including myself. So we're all sharing our experiences. So what you do is you get a number of different views about the restaurant themselves, different ideas, different angles. And what I like about it is it's sort of like Yelp on air, because it's really viewers talking about restaurants that are in their neighborhood. It's very real, it's very natural. I think it has a lot of authenticity to it, which I like very much. The
restaurants have to be local? Correct.
Yes, Arizona restaurant, independently owned. They need to have been in business at least 2 years, and it's easy to get on. Easy.
Yeah. When your restaurant was on, were you a little nervous?
I was, because I didn't know that the folks had been there, because they didn't tell me.
Sure.
And so I was kind of waiting in anticipation. They come in and do a lot of shots, and they spend about a day filming the restaurant. You kind of get an idea of what dishes they're going to talk about, by which the ones they photograph. So, but it ended up very well. It ended up doing very well for me.
All right.
And a lot of new friends came in.
Well, there you go. And that's a good. It does support the restaurant, provided everyone likes the food. I mean,
exactly.
I mean, what happens if I pick, Ted's Diner somewhere, and everyone else on the show says, "Man, this really stunk. This was terrible." What happens? What are you going to do?
I don't know that that'll happen, and we'll cross that bridge if it does. But I know the show is really more to, at least my goal is to really encourage the business in Arizona, encourage restaurants. I certainly know from firsthand experience how difficult the business is, and there's endless critics. We don't need that. I think it's, there's a growing and wonderful restaurant scene here in Arizona, and I feel it needs to be trumpeted.
Talk about your experience. Talk about your background in the business.
Oh boy. Well, how much time do we have? I'll real quick story. I started as a dishwasher, working winters. My dad was in a sort of a marine construction business, so I did that in the summers. And it really started as a job, and I thought it was a great job because I was closer to food, and I really love food. And I like to eat a lot, and I still do. So the closer I was to food, I was much happier and access to it. I noticed that, if I could be frank, that the servers paid a lot more attention to the cooks than they did the dishwashers. So there was strong motivation to get up there and cook. Yes. But I also was interested in it. Bought a book by another PBS guy named Jacques Pepin, a book called La Technique, when I was 16 years old, and just went through it. And I fell in love with it, but I looked at it as a hobby and a passion. Fast forward, out of high school, I spent a year doing an apprenticeship in Europe, in Amsterdam, and then I went to culinary school in Paris for 4 years.
Oh my! So you knew then this is what you wanted to do with your life.
It grabbed me.
Yeah.
It just took me, and I've done it ever since. I've
You
never
were-
done anything else.
You were on Iron Chef America, correct?
Yes.
Was like the chairman going to
Yes.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I love that show.
It really is and was a great show. I was on season 5 and was fortunate enough to win. I had a great team with me. It is all about teamwork in life, and it certainly is true that day. But it was a very, very scary experience, and we prepared hard for it, but the chances of winning are very slim,
Yeah.
less than 10%. So, in fact, we were the only team that won the whole season 5. So, to lose on national TV is kind of a daunting.
Well, you watch some of those shows and you just feel so bad for these people as they're walking down the hallway. You loser, you're a loser. But they seem happy enough. You mentioned the state of the local restaurant scene. How are we doing? How do we compare to Vegas, Denver, San Diego, L.A., Chicago? How
I
are we
think
doing?
very favorable. I mean, Vegas is a special situation because of the dynamics and the economics in Vegas is very different. Restaurants are, I would say, supported by the hotels and the gambling. But every other city, I think we do very well. I think more and more there's small restaurants opening in neighborhoods that are very unique, that are chef-driven, that are passion-driven, and that is everything. When someone has a voice and a passion and a place to do it, I think that's special, and they're always going to find fans, and that's what's happening a lot more in this town.
What about the customer base? How do the customers compare to some of these other towns?
I think very sophisticated. It's interesting. It's such an easy city to travel in and out of, and most people have moved into Arizona from other places. There's not a lot of true natives, I suppose. And that makes it interesting because people come from all different parts of the country and the world and bring those experiences here and have expectations. So I've found that the diner here is very sophisticated and but friendly, kind.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Has it changed over the years?
Oh yeah, it's changed. I mean, there's certainly a lot more restaurants in the area where Tarbell's is. Just maybe 10, 20 blocks either way on Camelback. There's, I calculate, I may be wrong, but about 2,000 new seats in the last
My
6
goodness.
years.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's a lot. But it seems everyone's doing well, so I think it's certainly good.
Well, with that in mind, everyone's doing well and things are improving. That's a good thing. But what would enhance the local restaurant scene?
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to learn a lot about being on the show. Being that I'm in the restaurant business and I work when people play, and we're open 7 nights a week, I frankly don't get out as much as I'd like to. So one of the great benefits of hosting this show is I'm going to be pushed out of my comfort zone. I'm going to go visit new restaurants in different areas in different cities, sub-cities around this town, and I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited to see what's out there from an ethnic point of view and just see how we've evolved, with Vietnamese food and Indian food
Yes.
and Thai food and, all those cuisines that I love.
Well, anyone who's been here any amount of time knows that there was a point where there was an Indian food restaurant in one part of the valley and another in another part, or
Yes.
a Vietnamese or Thai or whatever. Now they're everywhere.
Yes, thankfully.
Yes, yes, it
Because the
really
food's
has.
good.
Oh, and it gets better all the time. What is your favorite food?
Really what's ever in front of me. I have been in this business so long, and I don't mean that because I'm just being kind, I actually love food. And, when I was younger and more adventurous, I ate every, buried, rotten, crazy fish eyes, thing that was available because I was curious, to what they tasted like. Now, I have satiated my curiosity. I don't seek those things out, but I do love bold flavor, and so that kind of takes me in a lot of places.
All right. So you're the new host. New episodes in January,
Yes,
correct? That's when we
January
first
5th.
start see you. Well, congratulations.
Thank you
I mean,
very
it's a neat show. It's a great show.
Great show.
And you've been around long. You got a good name, and you're still doing wine reviews for the public
I
every
am.
now and then.
Yes, as much as I can.
Good stuff. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
Thank you. Take
you.
care.
Yeah.
Friday on Arizona Horizon, it's the Journalists Roundtable. Maricopa County agrees to pay legal fees of plaintiffs in the racial profiling suit against Sheriff Joe Arpaio. And a state lawmaker reaches a plea agreement in a case of food stamp fraud. That's on the Journalists Roundtable on the next Arizona Horizon. That is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you.